Hey, but I'm gonna be going live on YouTube sometimes now. My birthday is coming up, so if you recently subscribed, thank you. That's what I asked for my birthday. I'm like, I'd like you guys to subscribe to me on YouTube so you can follow cool videos and I can tell you what's going on in the marketplace. So now I'm gonna start driving and take you guys with me. Um, there's been some whispers and some not so quiet whispers about the London, Ontario market slowing down. So I was just going to kind of talk about that while I'm going in between showings. So if you're above the $500,000 price point and if you're above the $600,000 price point, it's definitely slowed down in those price points. I think that the effects of the new mortgage rules tightening up and those all being implemented and now being 100% in effect, because they started in January, but if you were pre-approved before that and had a commitment from a lender, then you could have still qualified from the old rules. But now you're not finding people that were able to do that anymore because now it's June. So there's just not that ability to kind of like squeeze in the last of the easier mortgage rules. So I think it's already starting to push people in different price points down. Something that I find really annoying about that is that the government essentially took places that were like Toronto and Vancouver and they applied rules for mortgages that ended up affecting markets that were not similar to Vancouver or Toronto at all. And I think we're starting to see a bit of a trickle-down effect here in London. Also, I think things are just slowing down a bit because May is the absolute highest activity month for real estate every year. That's just the way it is. May is the highest activity because you can get the most as a seller for the month of May. So we just came out of that May, and I was reading on the London St. Thomas Real Estate Board, aka LSTAR, that this was the third best May for activity in the history of London since there was a London St. Thomas Real Estate Board. So this year still it's definitely having a lot of activity, but there was a lot less houses available. So I think that really affected the prices that sellers can get. And I think what's happened is that people heard about these crazy offers, 50 grand over or whatever it was, depending on the area. They heard about them and then they tried to get their house on the market, but by the time they realized that their neighbor had sold and got 50 grand over asking or whatever the amount was and had finally organized themselves to get things on the market, now June hit. Now June, the kids are in their last month of school and they're about to be home, and a lot of people have put their houses on the market now. People with kids do affect the market activity because they're not going to want to move any time that kids are in school. They're not going to uproot them. Students, if you're doing like rental properties, you're not going to try to uproot students in the middle of the year. So that's why the summer is such a hot market time, and that's why May, you can just squeeze that extra few percent out on the selling side. But things are looking up for buyers, because if you've been a buyer and you've been super frustrated, as a lot of buyers in that lower price point have been, there's going to be a lot more opportunity for you now because there's actually going to be a lot more choice. So it really depends how you look at it. For me personally, I don't see the London market slowing down, but what I do think is happening is that there's people that think that, you know, when there was a low inventory amount, so and so my neighbor got this amount, so therefore I'm going to be able to get this amount, and then have placed more houses on the market over their market value or up in that higher price point. And because buyers have come to expect bidding wars and expect to have to pay over, if you list the house for what the last one actually sold for, you're actually going to deter the buyers, because in their mind they think they have to add more to that. So I always train my buyers to have a cushion of, you know, depending on their price point. If their price point's $250 or $300, I say don't look at anything that that you don't have a cushion for your price point, or else you're gonna feel disappointed when it goes into competition. So I think a lot of mistakes some sellers are putting out there is by accidentally or being very forceful in choosing the price point that they put their house on, and it's actually deterring investors and people from buying their house. I have 2 new listings on this week, and I didn't get them up. Both of them got up late on Sunday, thanks to my new assistant. Shout out to Ashley. So excited about that. And so we finally got them on at like 11 p.m. on Sunday, and I wasn't sure how the activity was going to be because people have been talking about things slowing down, but there's been tons of showings booked. For the one in East London, it's crazy. There's over 20 showings booked, and it's been on for 48 hours. That one's listed at $199, so you're still going to get all those people in that price point that are not going to be able to get anything else. Except something that needs a bit of work if they're looking in the detached area and they don't want a townhouse. The other one in Kilworth has quite a few showings booked as well, and Kilworth is just outside of London, so not everyone wants to live that little bit outside of London, but there's still been quite a lot of activity, and I always advertise for my sellers on Kijiji and by posting in like Facebook groups and community groups and all that kind of stuff when I'm listing a house. I send everything back through my website, and I post like 3D tours or whatever way I'm advertising for them. So there's been a lot of feedback from different various areas of social media. So I'm going to update you guys next week and see how things are doing, because I don't think they're actually slowing down that much in the 300 price point at all, and the 200 price point definitely still has a lot of competition. So I will love to give you guys another market update next week, and stay tuned because I would love to answer a bunch of questions for you guys, do videos on what you guys are interested in. I know market updates are usually pretty high level when they're trying to figure out what's going on in London, blah blah blah. So if there's something specific that you guys want to talk about, drop a comment on this video, and that way we can talk about it together. And I'd rather talk about stuff that's interesting to anyone who actually takes the time to watch these videos. So thank you so much for supporting me and subscribing to me. Yep, it's a really good birthday gift. See, I'm turning 30 and I'm getting senile. I can't even talk anymore. Anyways, would love for you guys to subscribe so I can help, so we can post more videos that are relevant to you guys.